send to do nothing for us. We don't pay to handle our problems. You gotta put in your own work. You failed.
Beef me up, right? Because try to glorify bull. Like you try to glorify salt. Try to glorify that ain't that. It's flawed. We know what flaw when we deal with in the streets. We know what flaw. Like we understand that they flaw. We don't capitalize off their flawness though, because we'll capitalize off real. We ain't gonna capitalize off no being flawed, weak as hell. We understand what a weak as hell. Then he a street, call himself a street. He could be a street, but he's still weak as hell. We don't capitalize and try to glorify this. Nah, we gonna sit here and have conversations about as strong as us. We don't have conversations about as weak as hell.
J. Prince still ain't letting that grudge go, and this time it almost got physical. Word in the streets is he actually tried to get Mase, and Cam jumped over that whole Shakur Stevenson situation. You remember how it all kicked off, right? Last year, Cam and Mase roasted J. Prince on their podcast after he claimed he'd take any bet and fade all of Shakur's shots as his manager. Cam and Mase weren't having it. They dragged him for still playing street boss despite his age. And let's just say, they burned him bad on air. Back then, J. Prince stayed quiet, so everybody assumed the smoke had cleared. But nope, a year later, things just blew up again. Cam got pressed backstage at a private Atlanta event when some random dude ran up and told him to stop mentioning Shakur's name. Straight like that. And this wasn't just Jay moving slick behind the scenes. Shakur himself jumped in, calling May's rap career a flop and threatening to knock Cam out if it ever came down to it. So yeah, the whole thing's turned ugly again. Let's get into what really went down and how Mase and Cam fired back after Jay allegedly tried to line them up. Cameron had pulled up to Atlanta 2 weekends ago as a special guest commentator for a Boxing Meets Hip Hop showcase, but things went left real fast. He was supposed to take the MIC for a new sports panel pilot. But according to multiple insiders, Cam never even made it to the stage. Witnesses say he got into a heated exchange backstage with some guys who didn't even belong to the event, and now whispers say those dudes were sent by none other than J. Prince himself. Whatever got said back there must have been serious, because Cam dipped out the venue just minutes later. But here's where it gets even spicier. This whole incident popped off right after J. Prince Jr. fired back online, defending his pops against all the clowning Cam and Mase did last year. Jr. wasn't holding back either, talking slick in the comments and basically daring them to keep that same energy offline. So between the online shots, the backstage tension, and the whispers about a possible setup, it's clear.
Another body shot, good combination from Stevenson.
Cartonian still strong. But you either got to create your offense off your jab, Tess.
All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And still, WBC lightweight champion of the world, Shakur.
So when you get in the ring, you're not entertaining. We don't want to keep hearing about the sweet science. We're looking for entertainment. We're paying bucks for entertainment. And you're not entertaining. But listen, if the fight was smoking, nobody had to walk out. You should not be the main event fighting like the undercard. Your fight was like the undercard. All the smoke was before you. So they need to rearrange how you're going. You're like a headliner that really need to be the opening.
This beef just got real again, and it doesn't look like anybody's backing down this time. So now fans are asking the real question. Were those men backstage actually June's crew pulling up to check Cam in person? Because this whole mess didn't start yesterday. It all really blew up back in July 2024 when Cam and Mase went all in on Shakur Stevenson. It started after Shakur defended his WBC lightweight title against our Retaliation in Newark. And let's just say, it wasn't giving Fight of the Year. The match was overly technical, barely any punches thrown, and the crowd straight up booed. Fans called it boring. But Cam and Mase? They took trolling to a new level. They dropped a video pretending to fall asleep while watching the fight. Full-on snoring and everything. Then on their podcast, they doubled down. Mase said Shakur needed to admit he wasn't main event material, while Cam joked he saw people getting up mid-fight to grab coffee just to stay awake. Total disrespect. But Shakur wasn't about to let that slide. He fired back with zero chill, reposting a clip of Mase saying he didn't even want to see him fight again. And in the caption, Shakur went nuclear. Same way I felt about his rap career. He wrote, more famous for his podcast than that failed career pack. The GOAT man? Who even are Mase and Cameron? Then Shakur got real petty with it. He clowned Mase for leaving Didda's Bad Boy record to become a preacher, calling him a fake pastor and even mocking the whole surviving Diddy drama. The shade was heavy. But that wasn't enough. He leveled up the smoke and sent a straight-up warning. Tell them what's the way they talk on that podcast. I ain't ducking no smoke. Lil homie ready to go to war with all these soft dudes. It was clear. Shakur felt disrespected, and he was ready to throw hands if it came to that. What really got under his skin, though, was the fact that neither Cam nor Mase had ever stepped in a ring. Yet they keep running their mouths like boxing experts. Shakur said, you know what irks me? When dudes talk boxing but never gloved up. This fat dude, Mase, and Big T can need to shut up. They never been in no ring. Everybody out here gloving up. Tell them to glove up or shut up and get this work. It was personal now. The tension was sky high, and everyone watching knew it wasn't just jokes anymore. Even Terrence Crawford had to chime in. He tagged Shakur on IG and said, F him. Lil bro, let them know how you feel. They letting you know how they feel. That was a full-on cosign from one of boxing's biggest names, adding gas to the fire. But Cam wasn't backing down. He clapped back hard, defending Mase and reminding Shakur exactly who he was talking to. Cam posted, failed rap career? Hey Shakur Stevenson. 3 months after you were born, Mase dropped his first album and went quadruple platinum. 5 million sold without social media. That's facts. Straight MIC drop. And they didn't stop there. Cam and Mase kept the pressure on, posting a clip of fans walking out during Shakur's last fight with a caption, a little hometown love number, Newark. Then added that is, Harlem would never. Total violation. And just when it seemed like the dust was finally settling, boom, Jay Prince jumped in again, backing Shakur with his trademark tough talk. He hopped on IG and wrote, I'll fade all Shakur's shots and take any bets, making it clear that the Prince family wasn't done yet. Then Jay Prince doubled down like he always does, saying, numbers don't lie, haters do.
And take all his shots and you handle everything out the ring. All right. So then we talking to you then, all right? We starting with you. Since you the big homie, we starting with you. That's how it goes around here. I want to just start off by saying you are so, lacking self-awareness. When you give such a lackluster performance and then you think you can make threats to people because you gave a lackluster performance, pause. You don't have the right to tell me what I should like or to tell Cam what he should like. That's not your place. Art is subjective, right? So if art is subjective and I don't like something, you can't really get mad at us because we don't like something. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, when you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little the way you talk it, I don't get what you mean. We're not your little. It's for real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little have big homies. We're not little, so we don't even respect big homies. I know Killer doesn't, and for me, I never respected in the streets. That's why I always got the problems I got. Tell me, Mase, chill. No, chill for what? Who is this? That's how I feel listening to this, man. I want to respect you, but I can't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if I got a little, the dudes that raised me, if I was out of pocket, they would tell me I'm out of pocket. They wouldn't let me put them on a crash out mission. They would say, yo, Mase, listen. Mm-hmm. Around here, we don't send to do nothing for us. We don't pay to handle our problems. Mm-hmm. You gotta put in your own work around here, Lord, man. That's what you were supposed to tell them. You can't go out here and talk crazy and then send me on a mission. Mm-hmm. Nah, this is where the game got messed up, when young started sending old out, and just cause this little ignorant got a few dollars, he make all of you that's supposed to be real run after his mission? This is a problem, Jay Prince, and I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're 60 years old and you trying to be a street, you failed. You failed.
You'll call him boring, but has got the #1 ratings on ESPN this year and top 3 since 2022. He wasn't done either. He dropped one last warning that sent the internet buzzing. To all you haters trying to take it outside the ring, I'm Shakur's manager. I handle everything outside the ring too. Yeah, that wasn't motivation. That was a straight-up threat. So when Jay said, I'll fade all his shots and take all bets, Cam and Mase definitely heard him loud and clear. But instead of backing down, they came back swinging just a week later. And this time, they aimed straight at Jay Prince himself. Mase went off first. He clowned Jay for still trying to play the street boss role at nearly 60, saying, "You too old to still be moving like that, my boy." Total violation. And Cam, he hit even harder. He said he lost respect for Jay long before the Shakur drama even started. Meanwhile, Shakur just kept the disses flying, calling Cam and Mase old, washed, and irrelevant. Then he pulled up to the Breakfast Club and laughed the whole thing off, saying he can't take them seriously because they are just trolls making money off clowning people online. The arrogance was loud, and the fan base instantly split in two. Half the people are standing 10 toes behind Jay Prince, saying there's a reason Shakur's even in the spotlight. They're giving him props for building Shakur up from day one, even comparing Shakur to a young Floyd Mayweather. Joe Rogan himself chimed in, saying, if anybody deserves a Mayweather comparison, it's Shakur. But then the other side isn't buying it. They think Jay Prince is actually holding Shakur back, saying he's too controlling, too tied to the streets, and possibly moving shady behind closed doors. To them, that whole gangster image isn't lifting Shakur up, it's dragging him down. And just when you thought the situation couldn't get any messier, boom, even more smoke started brewing behind the scenes. Word on the inside is that real tensions forming between Shakur's inner circle and the same industry folks who once hyped him up. Insiders claim some major promoters are quietly backing away, not because Shakur can't fight, but because of Jay Prince's shadow hovering over everything. Behind closed doors, execs are saying, yeah, Shakur's got hands, no doubt, but that energy around him, it's starting to scare off money. And in boxing, when money starts walking away, so does opportunity. At the same time, Cam and Mase just kept their foot on the gas. On their latest podcast episode, they threw another jab, saying, how are you going to be the face of boxing when people leaving your fight before the bell even rings?
Said it exactly. You 60, you 60. What are you talking about? What are you bro? I lost mad respect for you because I used to have mad respect for you. When you had Shakur with you, when you line young boy NBA up, why the you got Shakur with you? And this is why he acting like that. This is exactly why he acting like that. Talking about you got young boy NBA umbrellas and his keys to this car. Young boy NBA turns on. This is what he said. This is not 1982, bro. You cannot sit here and tell get the strap and then be quiet. Nobody know that part because I just be going viral. You bugging, James, you bugging, man. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't know what bet you talking about, all that other slang then. Bet it, whatever bet you talking about, bet it. I don't know what bet it.
Mase also called out the fake tough guy act from Shakur's camp, saying, real street dudes don't flex online. They move in silence. And fans are loving the chaos. Some are flipping on Shakur, saying his ego's running wild, while others think Cam and Mase are being petty just to stay relevant. But one thing's for sure, the boxing world hasn't seen beef this spicy in years. Now everyone's wondering, will Shakur shut the haters up in the ring, or will this drama outside cost him everything he's built? But here's where things start to spiral completely out of control. After all the online shots and podcast jabs, whispers say there are now real consequences brewing behind scenes. Sources claim Cam and Mase were approached by security officials at a recent event and warned that this feud could turn into a safety issue if it keeps going. Yeah, this ain't just internet talking no more. One insider said, they told Cam straight up, you'll better chill before someone tries to turn this into something it don't need to be. And apparently, the warning's not just talk. Rumors say some venues in Atlanta and Houston are backing away from hosting events involving both camps, worried about the tension. Some promoters are even making artists sign agreements promising no sneak disses or hostile mentions on stage. That's how serious it's gotten. Meanwhile, Shakur's still standing firm, refusing to back down. In a recent interview, he said, "I ain't apologizing for nothing. They talk slick, I talk back. It's that simple." He's holding his ground. No peace offering, no regrets. But guess who just re-entered the chat? Rap legend Jay Prince Jr. word is, he's planning to go live soon, raw, unfiltered, to speak on the situation for the first time. And insiders are saying he's sitting on receipts that could flip this whole story upside down. And just when you think the fire can't get any hotter, boom, another twist. Word on the street is Jay Prince and Jay Prince Jr. are putting together a tell-all podcast or documentary to clear the air and expose what really went down behind the scenes. Insiders say they've been stacking footage, texts, and audio receipts for months, all aimed straight at Cam and Mase. But Cam and Mase aren't sweating it, or at least they're pretending not to. They went live recently and laughed the whole thing off. Cam said, "They trying to scare us with documentaries now? Bro, we from Harlem. We live through pressure daily." And Mase added, "If you got doubt, drop it. We'll be right here waiting." But behind the jokes, it's getting real. There's even talk of a lawsuit forming. A small promotion company is reportedly considering legal action, claiming the ongoing drama between Shakur, Jay Prince, and Cam and Mase ruined a planned event deal. They are alleging breach of contract and reputational damage. Meanwhile, the fan base is eating each other live online. Twitter and IG comments are split straight down the middle. Some say Shakur needs to get back to boxing. Others say Cam and Mase are dragging his name for clout. Now you've got fans, XX promoters, and even lawyers all tangled in this chaos. And if that tell-all drops, oh, it's gonna be explosive. And just when everyone thought it couldn't get wilder, bam, another twist hits the net. A leaked clip just dropped showing what looks like Cameron arguing with security backstage at that Atlanta event where he allegedly got pressed. The clip shows a tense back and forth as voices rise and guards step in. It's grainy, it's messy, and it's fanning the flames even higher. Because now people are asking, was that the night everything snapped? Or is this just another setup in a beef that's quickly turning from entertainment into something way more dangerous? Either way, it's clear, this saga's far from over. His efficiency? Crazy. Everyone's talking about it. One clip even caught comedians mid-show out in Colorado watching the fight and losing it, saying Shakur's technique was so smooth, so precise, it was like watching Mayweather in his prime. It's on another level, one said. The way he moves, punches come right at him, and he just slips, fires back, and never misses. People are calling it art in motion. And yeah, that Mayweather comparison, it's real. But this ain't Mayweather. It's Shakur stepping into his prime and letting the whole world know he's next up. But in that same grainy backstage footage, fans notice something else. Cameron's voice. You can hear him say, "You all knew they was gonna be here and you ain't say nothing. That's foul." Now everyone's debating whether this proves someone actually tried to set him up at that Atlanta event on purpose. Meanwhile, Mase slid in with a subtle jab of his own. He posted an old bad boy photo with the caption, "Survived the 90s. I ain't worried about today's internet gangsters." The internet went crazy. Some called him a legend for standing tall. Others said he's milking the beef for clout. Either way, the comments were on fire. And get this, in the middle of all this chaos, Shakur just landed a major brand deal with a top fitness company. Some folks praise him for staying focused and securing the bag, but others think the company's using controversy to boost attention around the campaign. The timing's wild, and now people are saying this beef might end up on a full-blown reality or docuseries. Cameras following everyone. Drama at an all-time high. It's starting to feel less like a feud and more like a production. So now the real question is, who's actually winning here? Because the money and exposure just keep stacking. Then out of nowhere, Cam and Mase flipped the whole script. Yep, after weeks of smoke and shots, they suddenly hit pause. On their latest podcast episode, instead of firing more jabs, they said they are ready to move on. But not without one last punchline. Cam looked straight into the camera and said, "We're not scared. We just got bigger things to handle. But let it be known, Ain't nobody ever pressed me in my life, and that didn't start in Atlanta. Then Mase added, we're not giving this no more light. We got businesses to run. But next time someone got something to say it to our face, not through IG comments or behind-the-scenes threats. Fans are stunned. Some are calling it a mature move. Others think they are backing off now that things got too real. But it's not done yet. Shakur's camp just hinted at an exclusive sit-down interview, uncut and unfiltered, where he plans to air out everything, the threats, the shade, and all the behind-the-scenes manipulation. And with interviews, lawsuits, documentaries, and legal teams all circling, this has officially spiraled way past boxing and hip-hop. What started as a few slick jokes have become one of the wildest celebrity feuds of the year. Now, the big question, who's really telling the truth, and who's just playing the game better? Because even with all the backlash, Cam and Mase still have fans riding for them hard. Sure, some online are dragging them, calling them gossip kings who stay in drama just to stay relevant. One Reddit user even said, being an adult is realizing Cam and Mase criticizing Shakur is pure hate energy. They are pushing 50 and still acting like Jay Prince. Brutal. But their supporters aren't folding. One fan wrote, Jay Prince is a dangerous man, but I respect Mase and Cam for not backing down. That takes heart. Another, straight out to Houston, said, I'm from the H, and I've always hated how dudes act scared around Jay. Respect to Cam and Mase for keeping it real. And here's the truth. Love them or hate them, people tune in every single time Cam and Mase talk. Whether they are stirring the pot or dropping gems, these two are the entertainment. So what side are you on? Team Cam and Mase or Team Shakur? Either way, this drama's far from over. Stick around. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who lives to the T. Because the next chapter, it's about to get even crazier.